Hello, this is Lee Nelson, and I recently had somebody ask me to do a video about water fasting, so that's what I'm doing today. And it's a beautiful day for it. It's raining out here. It feels fantastic, finally getting warm. The air is fresh and crisp. It's a great day. So, water fasting is when you take in only water for a period of time. No food, no other drinks, nothing else, just water. So the most important thing, if you're going to do this, is to have very clean water. So you might want distilled water or just reverse osmosis water, some really good clean water from a great source. Preferably if you do it yourself, that way you know how clean it is yourself. And that's all you do. And so what you want to do is just sip the water through the day. You don't want to chug it. Our kidneys can only handle about half a liter an hour. So just sipping a little bit through the day, all day long. Make sure you get plenty of water. Now, I really would not recommend doing a water fast more than 3 days without supervision. If you want to do longer than 3 days, then go somewhere and be supervised. If you have any kind of small sickness, small ailment, if you have the cold, flu, something that just kind of cropped up, that's a great place to do a short water fast, 1 to 3 days. And it will, for example, like the flu, you will get over it much, much quicker by water fasting for a few days. So that's a really great place to do it. Generally, I wouldn't recommend doing a water fast unless you are really sick, have a really big issue that you need to get over. If you are really overweight, a water fast could be good for that, especially short term. You don't want to do too long, maybe 14-15 days, probably not too much past that for most people. But really, besides that, most people won't need to do a long water fast. The only other one is if you feel really called to it spiritually. Because Jesus, Buddha, a lot of our spiritual teachers, they did 40-day water fasts. And so it can be a really great spiritual tool because it allows you to really go within and focus, and you're not worried about eating or doing anything, because you should be resting. That is the true meaning of a fast, is resting. Yeah. So I just want to say that, I have been trained through Natural Hygiene, and a big part of Natural Hygiene is water fasting. So I have studied it quite a bit, and I have done a 21-day fast myself. And I did that fast at the Tanglewood Center in Costa Rica with Lauren Lockman, and my wife did it with me as well. And so spiritually, yeah, it was an amazing experience. But physically, it was pretty tough, especially for my wife, and for myself too. It took me about 2 months to recover, and then it took my wife about a year to recover. And I'll let her tell her own story, but I'll just say that 2 of my teachers that I trained with helped her to overcome that and get better. So I've learned a lot from them through that experience. And she's doing well now. So that is great. So yeah, water fasting. Some of the things like why you wouldn't want to do a water fast would be if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, definitely don't do a water fast. If you have neurological issues, so anything to do with the nerves or spine, which I kind of found out myself because I was dealing with sciatica and some nerve issues going into the water fast, and it didn't really help. I still have some nerve issues, and nerve issues take a long time to heal. It's really better to get a really clean diet and do it long term. Get a stable, steady diet, a stable, steady routine, and just do it long term. And you will heal slowly over time. Most of us didn't really come into this, or we didn't live our lives optimally for a long time. It took a long time to gunk things up, so it takes a long time to clean it out, right? You know, a lot of these quick fixes can be harmful. Some of them can be helpful if done in the right way, but they can also be harmful too, especially if you do one after another, after another, after another, and you don't have a strong, steady base for long term, right? And so another thing is emotional or mental disorders. Those can be really tough doing the water fast, especially eating disorders, depression, bipolar, things like that. It can bring a lot of those things up, and it would be ideal if you had a licensed clinical therapist during the fast to help you through a lot of this stuff, if you really want to go through that and do it, because a lot of those will come up. But other than that, fasting is great short term and irregularly. You know, maybe once a month or something, do it one day, just a water fast every once in a while, and completely rest during the day. And so it can be a good part, you know, of a long-term routine, but not all the time, not one after the other. And so what I would recommend, you know, if you want deeper cleansing, add juices to your daily diet. Don't do a long-term juice cleanse either, just juices. That's not good long-term. But adding a juice or two to your daily diet, especially celery juice or other vegetable juices, get those minerals in, is fantastic. The other really cool thing, if you want to do a cleanse a little bit longer term, is to do a mono diet. So like bananas is a fantastic example. Bananas and maybe lettuce or celery. So you have one fruit, one green, a very tender, easy to digest green, and you can do that for weeks at a time. So bananas, papayas, mangoes, sapote, fruits like that would be really good. I wouldn't really recommend fruits like oranges or grapes. I've heard other people recommend those, and those are really deep cleansing foods, yes. Maybe a day or so on them. I wouldn't do it long term. Your body can get run down, and some of these things you can be hurting your adrenals, especially. You can wear the adrenals out by doing cleanses long term, but short term is fine. You know, and my philosophy really is helping people build strong bases. So getting a really solid foundation for your diet, for your routine, for your lifestyle, and then you can mix in some cleanses every once in a while. Mix in a water fast or a juice cleanse or something for a couple days here and there every once in a while to go a little bit deeper, but then you go back to your solid stable routine. That's so important. So especially if you're doing like standard American diet or something like that, you need to start cutting things out and adding in more fruits and vegetables first, because if you go to a cleanse and then go right back to that diet, you're just going to gunk things right up again. So it's really important to clean things up slowly, steadily, get a steady, stable diet going. Yeah, so I hope that's good. Talking about water fasting, which is a very powerful thing. I do enjoy it. But yeah, definitely rest, take it easy if you're gonna do it. Right now is a good time. You know, if you're staying in, working at home with COVID going on, whatever, and you wanna just say, I'm not dealing with all this for a while, take a couple days off, do a water fast, that's cool. And let me know if you want some support through it. You know, I would definitely give some support for 2-3 days, a short water fast, you know, especially spiritually and emotionally. So hope everyone's doing well out there, and I'll see you soon.